Sweet Chick 739 wrote to me on YouTube and said, I love your videos. I think you should do a how to groom a horse properly video. Today we're going to do a basic grooming video. I'm going to show you how I groom the pony. So if you decide to get one, you'll know how to do it. Let's go. Welcome to Becky's Homestead. The first thing we're going to do is pick which kind of brush the horse prefers. Stiff brush, medium brush, or a soft brush. Always use a soft brush on their face. Next, we're going to brush the torso first. Second, we're going to do the underbelly. Third, we'll do the legs, and then fourth, we'll clean the feet. And then we'll work on the face with the soft brush, and then we'll brush out the mane and tail. Every pony and horse is different, so I have a combination of brushes. This is just a hair brush, so it can be for their mane and tail, but also can be for their fur if you have a furry pony like we do, a Hefflinger. And then this is like a soft, nicer brush. This is like one of those wispy dustpan brushes, and I just cut the bristles down. You don't have to spend a fortune on grooming tools for your horses. If you buy horse brushes, they cost a lot of money. And if you look around and just find different brushes, you can save money doing that, and they work just as good. So that's what I do. This pony, he likes a hard brush, a rougher brush, because he's just a tough little pony. So when I use this on him, you'll see all the hair, but he likes it. He doesn't care. He doesn't suck his back in. You can tell if they don't like it, they'll like move like that. Sometimes they'll swish the tail at you. They're telling you they don't like it. A tail swish is they don't like it. You're trying to get the dead hair off. So this pony doesn't mind me doing this either. I can go this sideways like this. You know, I can kind of go in a circle. That gets it off really well if your horse is grubby, grubby, grubby. When it's a new horse you don't know very well, I start in this area right here just to go slow, like the shoulder area is a safe area to start. And you don't have to do the whole horse at once. If you don't know the horse and it doesn't know you, it doesn't trust you, and you don't really trust it because it could kick you. So start slow, and you can just, you don't have to do this part. This is once you know the horse well, you can do this part. One thing I want to show you is when you have to switch sides. A lot of people will do this, children and adults, because they don't want to go around the back. They're right here. They're going to go like this. That is not the safest, best way to do it. Really, the safest, best way is to go around this way. It doesn't seem like that's the safest way because you're thinking it can kick me with the back feet, but really that is the safest way. They can lift their knee up, they can put their head down, and you can get bumped hard in the front end more than you can them kicking you. Okay, so this is how I teach them to go around the rump and keep their eye on me. I'll give him a little treat right now, just so he knows I have it. Okay, we're friends like this. Well, I'll just be like, good boy. Then I'll start brushing. Now his mind's on me now. He's looking at me. And he might be a little wiggly, which is perfectly fine. I want him to look over at me at the other eye when I come around here. So see how his head switched over and he's looking at me. So there's no surprises. Step over, step over. So now since he did that, that's what I do. When I come around the rear end, I'll give him a treat on the other side. So let's just pretend I'm brushing this side. Now I want to go back on the other side. Watch his head switch over, and he's going to keep his eye on me. So then I'm going to go around this side. There. And that's what we want. We want him to, I'm his focus. I don't want him to be like, relax, and he sees me back there, and he sees me and kicks or jumps or something. I use pure oats. We don't feed anything with sugar. Sugar just makes him hyper like it does people. So, and just a little like that, just enough, and you can hear him, he likes it. I know, Thunder, you love those goodies, don't you? When you're doing it, always be careful. This underbelly is sensitive, and they guard that. If the horse doesn't know you and you go to brush the underbelly, he'll take that back leg. He'll get you off it like that. So be careful and expect that if the horse doesn't know you well. Thunder knows me, so I can brush his underbelly. I'm not gonna push hard. I'm gonna be nice to him under there. When I'm brushing the legs on a horse, I'm always facing forward so I can see the horse's face and ears. And then if it looks afraid or mad, you can either scold it and correct it a little bit if it's a horse you've had for a while, or if it's a new horse, you'll know just to take it easy, and maybe you're going too fast and you're scaring it. When I get a new horse, it hasn't been groomed, just out of the pasture and stuff, it's a very nervous part is their legs, and they will move a lot when you touch their legs until they trust you. Once they trust you, no Thunder, once they trust you, then you can brush their legs and they won't move. But for quite some time, when you brush their legs, they will move. Now, I'm not pushing very hard with this brush because there's not much flesh on a horse's legs. Okay, once again, I'm gonna face forward when I'm gonna do his back leg here because, and you stay close. You're not gonna be like this, like you're scared of it. You don't have to do it perfect when they're new. You know, they progress as you have them. Now we're gonna do the mane. And it's basically like brushing your hair. You just want to kind of brush through it nicely. You don't want to tear it out. All right, now I'm going to do his tail. Again, I want him to know I'm back here, so I'm going to pet him. Then what I do always is I just touch the tail like this. Then I get my hand under it very gently, and I hold it out a little. And then I stand to the side a tiny bit, mostly so I can see him and he can see me. Not all horses grow a really thick tail like this. So you do want to start at the bottom and brush and then move up a little. All right, now we're gonna do his face. You're always gonna have to be careful, obviously, around his eyes. You have to go up and down the middle with the soft brush. That's how I start. Then I just go like this to the side, around the eyes very gently. And also the ears, I'll hold the ear and I'll just go like that, back and forth on the inside. And then I'll do this side. And I always brush their nose like this. So to touch all this is really good training for the pony. So you can take your time doing this. You can brush the nostrils out a little bit like that. And then I always do the chin back here as well. Thunder's like, all right already, when's the treat coming? I know you're so hungry. There you go. We do a really good grooming every single time we tack up and ride. That's when we like to, you know, take a few minutes and really groom them well. If we don't ride for a long time, let's just say for whatever reason, a month, we will just come out and groom them and look at them. So now we're gonna do the feet. I always fly spray them before I try to pick their feet up. It just makes it easy. It's very important to fly spray them before you start picking their feet up because they move their feet to get the flies off them and it makes it 10 times harder. So I always fly spray before I do their feet. And just right there. And you don't need to overdo it on the fly spray. If they have a couple flies, it's fine. I don't want to kill them with the poison. All right, I always put my hand down their leg so they know what I'm asking. And see, Thunder just picks his foot up. He's trained. I want to see if there's an acorn stuck in there because it's the time of year of acorns, or a piece of gravel because we ride him on the road and his foot looks fine. I've made a video on how to trim a hoof and do a simple trim. You can watch that video on my website. Okay, now I'm going to do the other three. Now I'm going to actually hose him down now that I have all the dead hair off him and he's all groomed good, and then he can just dry and he'll be beautiful. When you have a new horse and you don't know how it's going to respond to a hose, a lot of them are really afraid of it. First of all, don't tie him up like that. Hold him on a long lead line and be in the yard. But once you know the horse and it's doing good, you can go like this and put a little water on the ground and then start on their legs. That's what I always do. Give them a chance for their brain to comprehend what you're doing. It's not a person. It doesn't know what you're doing. You know, you got to give it a chance to be like, oh, that's what you're doing. But a horse is very suspicious by nature. So when you just come up on it with anything, brushes, saddle, it's suspicious by nature. So it's going to be like, oh, what are you doing? So you have to give it a minute. And then it's like, oh, I get it once it's trained. Right here at the dock of the tail is a very important place to keep clean on a horse. Like the first 4 inches of the tail here and right up here, because they will rub that when it's itchy and dirty right at the dock of the tail like that. Here he is, all ready to go for a ride. And they enjoy it. They like when you get them out and you brush them and groom them.
sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckysHomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam. If you like this video, click the like button. It really does help us a lot. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, click the subscribe button.
Are you going to do some shopping on Amazon? Start by going through our link to get there. You don't pay 1 penny more, but we get a small percentage. The Amazon link is on the top right of beckysHomestead.com. Thanks so much. She's like, got any food? I want some food. I know, you're so sweet.
Brat, he's like, don't touch me.
He's such a brat. He's like, the only love I want is food. He's like, show me your love with food.
That's this crazy horse lady. Don't do that.
Now that is a ponytail. Be careful not to overdo it. He's a goody pig, so he just begs all the time because Thunder has problems. Thunder has food problems.